guys, welcome back to Maison Malli. I'm Malli, and today I'm sharing with you the only 5 Nespresso pods for Vertuo worth buying. Of course guys, before we get into the video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't before. You guys can also find me over on Instagram where I make daily coffee recipe videos. If that's something you're interested in, you can find me right here. Let's talk the only 5 pods I'll be purchasing moving forward. Now, when I said this over on Instagram, people got all up in ears about it. Yes, I will still be doing taste tests on every pod that comes out because I'm always interested to see if I like them, and also if I would want to rotate one into my 5 pod lineup, if you want to call it that, right? I've been with Nespresso for almost 4 years now, maybe actually a full 4 years, going on 5, and I've tried all of the pods. A lot of the pods are great. I'm not saying that, you know, these are the only 5 good ones, but these are like 5 staples that I think can really get you through. If not, you can end up like me over the years with like 1,000 pods in your hands and you don't know what to do with them. I still have so many pods that I never use, but I realize I keep reaching for these same 5 pods. I keep repurchasing these same 5 pods, and so therefore I think these are going to be the 5 for me. So without further ado, let's discuss the 5 pods that I plan on using going forward for Vertuo and why I love them so much. Alrighty, so I will also preface guys by saying these 5 pods are across the spectrum. We all know that Nespresso has, now they have ristretto, they have single espressos, double espressos, they have lungos. I never use that, so I forget about those. Lungos, and then they have 7.7 ounces, as well as like some of the larger ones that aren't really compatible with my machine, so you guys already know that's not going to be in this video. So I'm sharing with you guys 5 pods from across the board that I like. It's not like 5 in single espressos and 5 in 7.7. No, just 5 pods overall. So I'm probably going to start out with my favorite pod of them all. Guys, I just love me some Puerto Rico. This pod is where it's at. If you've never tried Puerto Rico, I strongly suggest you give it a go. It's really delish. Now, Puerto Rico sometimes gets a bad rep because it is quite expensive. I think it's about $20 or $22 now. It is a double espresso though, and I think it's great. Like, if I was just sharing with you guys one pod that I would use for the rest of my life, it would be Puerto Rico, because it makes a really great like hot latte, iced latte. It goes with all the syrups, it goes with all the things. It's just a really, really good pod. And you guys already know I really, really love this one. Usually when I'm making Puerto Rico, if I can give you an idea of how to use it, it's really good in like shaken espressos. So if you want to use it with like brown sugar and cinnamon, any like heavier kind of syrups, sweet syrups are really, really good with this one. Oh, I forgot to say that Puerto Rico used to be a limited edition pod, but it is permanent now, and that makes me very, very happy. So this will be an easy one for you guys to scoop up. Alrighty, so next on my list in no particular order is going to be double espresso Kiaro. I really love double espresso Kiaro. It's been one of the pods that I've loved for 4 years when I first started out with Nespresso, and so I feel as though it's always going to remain on my top 5 list. Double espresso Kiaro, a lot like Puerto Rico, is really good for those intense, more intense lattes and things like that. So if you want to use sugars again, you want to use sweeter syrups like those cinnamon syrups and things like that, this one usually comes in clutch. But honestly, you can pair it with you can pair this one with anything that you want. It's going to be great. So some mornings when I'm in a rush and I don't know what to grab, I just grab this one. This is probably usually the first thing that I'll grab for and just put it in the machine, and then I'll put a vanilla syrup or caramel syrup or whatever I want with it, because it's really that good. And I like this one because it's safe. It's a permanent pod. Nespresso always has it, so I think it's a really good one, and it's not as expensive as Puerto Rico. It's regularly priced. Maybe, I don't even look at the prices anymore. I don't know how much these things cost. Maybe it's $12 to $14 now. So definitely worth it if you don't want to spend as much on Puerto Rico. Double espresso Kiaro is where it's at. Now, one single espresso pod did make my list. It's going to be Piccolo, right? Piccolo. Piccolo was launched maybe like a year and a half ago, and I have been loving it ever since. Piccolo is part of Barista collection, so it was made for milk, so it does make an excellent latte. Again, it's really creamy, it's really milky, makes a really yummy latte. If you're looking for single espresso pods, I would definitely suggest this one. Now let's move on to 7.7 ounce pods. This pod has been my day one. I've been using it from the first day that I got my Nespresso system. It is Bianco Forte. This is Bianco Forte, guys. Is this what the new pod looks like? I don't recall, but this is Bianco Forte and I love it so much. Bianco Forte is also a part of the Barista collection. So again, really made for milks. The reason though that I love this pod so much is because it's really intense. It's got a good kick to it and it holds up really well again to syrups and things like that. Me, however, I prefer my 7.7 ounces with creamers. I don't really like them with syrups. It's something that I've realized. Creamers, however, can be a lot sweeter, and so Bianco Forte holds up really well to those creamers. So for example, I'll have like Bianco Forte with this creamer. It's from Chobani. It's their new French toast one. Perfect little combination, okay? So Bianco Forte, it's really nice iced. It's really nice hot. It's great with creamers. If you want to do it with syrups, you can do that as well. That's just not my preference. But when I'm reaching for a 7.7 ounce pod, 9 times out of 10, it's Bianco Forte. Now, if I don't have any Bianco Fortes on hand, I will reach for Intenso. This is Intenso. I love it. It's got the same vibes as Bianco Forte, really strong, really dark, really bold. That's why I love it. I like to use it the same way as I use Bianco Forte with creamers. I don't really try this one iced a lot because I think that Bianco Forte pairs better with milks and so therefore like iced coffees. But this is a really good pod. I strongly suggest it if you like something really bold and rich. There you go, guys. So that sums up my 5 pods that I plan on having on deck at all times. However, I do have an honorary mention. The only reason this pod didn't make my list is because it is a limited edition pod, and so I don't like to rely on those because you don't know if they're going to come back, so on and so forth. But it is Hawaii Kona. I love Hawaii Kona. It's definitely one of my favorite pods. But as I mentioned, it is limited, and so it's only around about once a year. Whenever it comes around, I do stock up on it. I'll get maybe like 2 boxes or so. I don't go stocking up super hard. It is also one of the more expensive ones. It usually is in that $20 to $22 range, but it's good because it is a double espresso. Now this one, I really love it. In the summertime. It's a really light and sweet pod, so it pairs back really nicely to those light and sweet syrup flavors such as lavender and rose and coconut, you know, all those things you love to have in the summertime. So I would always suggest getting this when it launches limited edition, but of course it's not a part of my 5 roundup because it's not always around. I just realized this. When you look at my 5 roundup, everything is so dark. Like I don't have any of the fun colors in or anything, but guys, this is what my staple is looking like. Puerto Rico, Kiaro, Piccolo, Bianco Forte, and Intenso. I'm curious to know in the comments down below, guys. Drop a comment and let me know, what do you think about my 5 pod lineup for Vertuo? Are any of them your favorites? Do you hate any of them? You think I'm crazy? You love my lineup? Let me know. But also, I want to know in the comments down below, what are your go-tos? Like, what is that Nespresso pod that you can't live without? Guys, as always, thank you for stopping by my channel. Don't forget you can find me over on Instagram where I play with these pods a lot and make a few fun drinks. If you want to see that, you can catch me on Instagram at Maison Malli. But that's all I've got for you guys today. So thank you for stopping by and hanging out with me, and I'll see you guys next time.